Hello guys, this is your boy Amit Hepley. Today we are going to talk on the book written by Robert Kiyosaki, that is Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So it is a brief summary of this book. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of this book, had two fathers, a well-educated father who had a PhD yet died broke. He called him Poor Dad. The other one was not that well educated but was rich. He called him Rich Dad. Robert's dream of becoming rich started when he was young. His poor dad wanted him to study more and secure a job at a large company. Rich Dad was his friend Mike's father. He wanted Robert to take risk and learn that not all lessons were taught in school. He wanted Robert to know that some lessons had to be taught by going through hardships. This kind of lessons can't be acquired by simply going to school and getting good grades. It's important to have a good education, but life is not just about that. Lesson number 1. The rich don't work for money. Money works for them. There's an old story about a man who owned a donkey. Whenever he wanted the donkey to work harder, he would put a carrot in front of the donkey's eyes. So the donkey was motivated by the carrot. It kept walking, hoping to reach that carrot one day. This worked well for the man, but was not ideal for the donkey. The carrot in the story is like money. People keep working, hoping that someday they will become rich. Money is an illusion. You'll never reach it if you're working only to take the carrot. Instead, try to make money work for you. When you first start the journey of making money, don't work to gain money. Fear and desire are consistently controlling how we act. We have a fear of not having enough money. This makes us work harder each day. Then we gain a desire as we imagine all the beauties that can be buy from the money. Our fears and desires put us in never-ending cycle of wanting more. We work harder to make more money, and as a result we spend more. Rich Dad called this as a rat race. Instead of falling into that pattern, avoid the trap of fear and desire. That's how most people who want to be rich fail. You have to make money work for you. When you get a job, don't go into work thinking you'll simply take your paycheck at the end of the month. You'll barely pay your bills and then repeat the cycle over again. Even working harder at a second job is still working for the money. If you keep doing this, you're never going to be rich. Confront yourself. Are you just looking for security at a safe job? Are you working to make more money because you think that this is going to make you rich or satisfy you? If the answer is yes, unfortunately, you're never going to make it. You'll die broke. If your answer is no, then you have taken the first step. Never let your fear of not having enough money or the desire to make more money encourage irrational behaviors of you. We have business schools that do not teach us how to lead a business or start one. Instead, they teach us how to be being counted, how to fire people and give orders. They hardly ever teach you how to be a leader. Every day when you wake up, ask yourself if you are doing all you can. If you haven't reached your fullest potential, don't go day by day thinking about money or how to work more to get a better raise. Don't hold thoughts in your head like, my boss doesn't pay me enough. I deserve a raise. I deserve to earn more money. When you stop blaming other people for your problems and accept that the problem is your way of thinking, then you'll be able to correct to more positive thoughts. That was the first lesson that Rich Dad taught Robert. When Robert and his friend Mike were teenagers, Rich Dad made them work at his convenience store for free. They kept working, not thinking about how much money they weren't making. During their working hours, they were able to free their minds and create new ideas to make money work for them. At the store, they watched the store clerk cut the front pages of comic books in two. She would keep one half and throw the rest half in the comic away. At the end of the day, the distributor would come and take the top half of the books and give new comics to the store. The boys waited for the distributor to arrive and asked him if they could keep the old comic books. He said yes, but they had to agree not to sell them. The boys agreed and started a business. They charged kids to read comic books 10 cents per book for 2 hours, and then it would be returned. Technically, they were not selling them, but they worked the business out of their garage and paid Mike's sister $1 a week to run it. They made about $9.50 a week. They had learned how to make money work for them. Lesson number 2. Why teach financial literacy? Most of the times, people care about making money and they forget to receive an education that teaches them how to keep it. It's never about how much money you make, as much as it about how much money you keep. A lot of people own millions of dollars in a lottery. After a few years, they were back to exactly where they started, if not worse. A lot of people ask about how they should get started. The answer is pretty disappointing. The answer is to be financially literate. The main motive of this book is to tell that we have to learn the differences between liabilities and assets, and we have to buy assets, not liabilities. Now, I'm going outside the book and going to tell what is liabilities and assets in a very easy manner. So, liabilities are those which we are investing and we will not gain any interest on those things. Suppose you buy a new car, then you will require fuels to run them. You will require petrol, diesel, and you will spend money on those diesels and petrols. Instead of this, you can buy any other thing that can be an asset for you, which will give money in return to you, because car is not an essential commodity. So we have to focus on our assets and on our liabilities. Most of the poor people have liabilities. They think that we should own this car, we should take home on loan, we should take mobile phone on EMI. But they don't understand these are all liabilities, not the assets. On the other hand, the rich invest his money on taking a home on loan and give it on rent, so that the money came from the rent will be paid off to the bank and the loan is also nil. So in this way, the home is with him and the loan is paid off. So we have to learn these skills. The rich does not have these skills by birth. They learn these skills and imply them on the life. It is not like that. The one who has more money is rich and the one who has less money is poor. The only mindset of the people determines his rich or poor. A poor can also be a rich by the means of his financial literacy. If one is financially literate, one who knows how to handle his money and the efficient way of getting multiplicative numbers of that money. So everyone must learn these skills and read this book once in the lifetime. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel and let us know how was the video in the comment section. Thank you.